Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. We got some things we have got to get into. Guys. Okay, first off, let me just say this. I apologize. There's some weird things going on with StreamYard. There's this new feature. Excuse me. There's this new feature that allows you to do vertical video and horizontal video, okay? And the thing is that I don't like it. It's doing two videos at the same time on YouTube, and I don't want that. I don't like it. I don't want it. I thought it was going to be something that I could use for TikTok, and so now everything's all jacked up, so I apologize for the late start, but I was trying this new feature, and it was putting out 2 streams on YouTube. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm trying to not have it anymore because I don't like it. You see what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be something that could be good for TikToks and Instagrams and all that stuff. It's not a feature that works. It's not a feature that I like at all. Okay? So sorry for the late start, but that was dealing with some technical issues. Okay? And trying to turn off all this crap, and it's been just kind of a big pain in the butt. All right? So it might be a little funky for the next couple shows. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So just so you know, that's what's going on, and that's why I'm late. All right? That's why it took a minute, because I'm like, what is going on here? And I had to start all over again. That's why that last stream I had to cut off and start a brand new one. Okay? So okay, so anyway, we got to get into this because there's some crazy stuff. We got some breaking news, and it's insane. So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it, do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow. Please and thank you. Don't forget to do that. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you. Hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Over here on my main channel, go over to my second and third channel. The second channel is called The Pascal Show Clips. Third channel is called Pascal Raw. Make sure you're subscribed to those channels as well. Okay, hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because right now it is random. Okay, it be random though. So please make sure you do that. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Yes, PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys. We have got to get into this. This is some breaking news. And I'm just going to do this now. Huge breaking freaking news. All right. Okay. Extra, read all about it. Okay. I feel like a newsboy right now. All right. We got some big news that just happened. I just told you guys this in a short, okay, in a YouTube short or TikTok or a reel, wherever you're watching this show. Okay. And make sure you follow me on all those platforms, please. And thank you. But we got some breaking news, and this is not looking good at all for Mr. President. It's not looking good at all for him. At all. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh, it's a fugazi. This is fake news. This is fake. This is crap. Well, I don't think so. This is some bad stuff, y'all. We're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes, y'all. We're going to get straight to the nuts and bolts. This is bad. Okay? This is very, very bad. This does not look good for Trump. See, what's interesting about this, I'm going to say it now. I'm probably going to say it again in a little bit, okay? And you know, mind me, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold here, so I apologize if I sound weird. But here's the thing. He kind of made this bet himself. Think about it. Who in their right mind would expose their own damn self? Think about that for a second. No, just think about, no. Hold on. Before you start, type away on your little QWERTY keyboard, okay? Or on your phone, just rapidly tapping away, practically breaking the screen on your phone. Let me just ask you this. Who would actually do this? Who would actually go out of their way to expose thyself? Him? It's funny because we all been sitting here going, wait a second. First off, he goes out and he's like, we're going to drain the swamp. That's what we're going to do. We're going to drain the swamp with all the dirty, bad doers, right? He didn't really say it like that, but you know what I mean. Completely obliterated. And then we find out that there's connections here with the man. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So now Trump is the dog that hasn't barked, which is a new phrase I have not heard before. I've heard of wag the dog, right? But I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Why? Because it was nothing but the dog in me. You know what I'm saying? Why must I chase the cat? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work here. But you get what I'm saying. Interesting. He is the dog that hasn't barked, which could mean many different things, right? Which we will break down when we get to that conversation and to that part here in a little bit. But here's the thing. House Democrats have now obtained massive emails, allegedly coming from the EpiPen, okay? This dirty, disgusting, used up, nasty EpiPen. So he's been corresponding with the likes of Ghislaine and others. And these emails have now been released to the public today. And these things that Jeffrey Epstein is saying in here is absolutely freaking-sane. Now, let me just, I'm going to repeat what I just said a little bit ago earlier, okay? This is breaking news. So get on in here, hold on to your butts, because this is going to get very bumpy. It's going to be a wild-ass ride. Actually, it's not going to be a wild-ass ride for us, right? It's going to be a wild-ass ride for Trump. Because now he's going to have to explain these things, which I don't know how he's going to do that. And then here's the thing, because he's good at spinning. He's the king of spin, not the king of swing. Maybe he is the king of swing. But he's the king of spin. Yeah, Trump with the baby oil. Oh, my God. But but not good. Not like these aren't you understand that these people see, now with Diddy, he was in a corner losing his religion watching adults do this stuff. Allegedly, they're saying that these particular women, these particular individuals, they were ST'd. Let's not forget that. But then also at the same time, we don't know the ages of these women when they were ST'd or even were in the same room for hours with the likes of President Trump. Now, let me just say this. This is all alleged, okay? This is coming from Epstein. This is not coming from court filings. This is all coming from EpiPen. What he says with his own mouth or with his own fingers, from his own brain, letters, emails, digital letters sent. That's what an email is. Sent to various people, talking about how Trump knew about the girls, quote unquote, knew about the girls. In other words, AKA, just y'all know, that means Epstein is saying that Trump knew about him moving girls around. That he was well aware of that. Just want to make sure y'all see that. So for all y'all who say it's a fugazi, it's not true. If it's coming from his own mouth, it's coming from the horse's dead ass mouth. I want to make that abundantly clear. Now, again, this is coming from Epstein. He could be saying all kinds of stuff at this point. He could have been wilding out at this point, trying to pull everybody under the bus, including Trump. He could have said these things just to get a rise out of Trump or try to point the blame at Trump. We got to put that on the table. It's all the way in the corner, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like that the smorgasbord of food. You know what I'm saying? At Thanksgiving, that spread. Look at that spread. Woo! But that mac and cheese with the cranberries in it is all the way in the corner. All the way in the corner. It hasn't even been touched. Because we all know that crazy auntie, that, you know, that hippie crazy auntie is known to get crazy with her experiments in the kitchen. Okay? Just straight up cranberries in mother-loving mac and cheese. That's all the way in the corner, though. It's all the way over there. So that's the thing. These allegations, we're going to put them right over there. All the way in the possibility of him just making this stuff up just for the sake of making these things up to throw Trump under the bus. We're going to put it on the table. We have to leave that on the table. But it's all the way in the corner next to the mac and cheese with the cranberries in it. Whole cranberries. Cold, whole cranberries inside hot mac and cheese. Okay? Just over there. It's that green jello, you know, that lime jello that's just over there in the corner that not really anybody touched. It's over there. And the undercooked rice right over there. You know, it's right there in between all that. So we have to put that in there. Okay? We have to remember that there's still possibilities that Jeffrey Epstein, because he's a smarmy, nasty little mother-loving snake, that he could possibly be doing the exact same dirtiness to Trump. But I like I said, I put it all the way in the corner. It's not right next to me, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like them fire collard greens that mom made, okay? Or that mashed potatoes. Nope, it's all the way over there in the corner. All right? So we got to remember that. Now, here's what's crazy about this, all right? What's crazy about this, too, is somebody said this in the chat, and I'm glad you mentioned this, okay? All right? I'm sorry with the cranberries, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a little traumatized by that. I still remember that to this day. But here's the thing. Kimberly has a point. Bondi knew. If Bondi knew, then what's going on here? If she's been knowing all this time, but then she's lying to the general public, lying to the American people, that is a huge problem. Let's not forget everybody else, Bongino, Patel, every person that was spearheading this thing, saying, expose everything. We must release the files. We must expose this nasty mother lover and all the people that were connected to him, all of his acquaintances. They must be exposed and brought to justice. And when the opportunity actually came, what happened? They said it didn't exist. The list does not exist. It doesn't exist. Suddenly the list does not exist. And now we're hearing letters, digital letters, that have been scribed by this monster that are saying, oh yeah, Trump, oh, he knew about these girls. Hell yeah. In fact, he was with one of them in my crib, hanging out for hours with this girl. And no, she wasn't busy trying to take selfie with his mother lover. What do you think was going on? At least what's being alleged of what was going on. Like I said, this is all really, really, really bad. And this is why this is very important that we look at this information. For those of y'all who think this is all fake news and this is just some made up crap, this is coming from House Democrats. Yes, I know. Instantly, y'all are going like, well, you don't trust no leftist because they're all nasty. But here's the thing. If these emails are truly real, we need the fact that these emails have been exposed. We must do our due diligence, and those that are looking into this must do their due diligence and look into this and comb through this with a fine-tooth comb to make sure all of this is legitimate, all of this is real. And if this is actually legitimate and real, then justice needs to reign upon every single last person that is an acquaintance of Jeffrey Epstein. Sorry, but that's the truth. I get it. Some people look at Trump as their hero. Others don't like him. That's just how it is. He's polarizing as hell. We've been known that about Trump. But for those who have been supportive of Trump from the get-go, even the ones that have later converted and said, well, he wasn't so bad, and converted to his side, we have to remember that this person, if any of this is true, has been lying to all of us and has been stopping at nothing to hide all of this information from the general public. Just something to remember. And here's the other thing, too. If there are other people, let's not forget, like Clinton, anybody else. Remember Andy? Prince Andrew, now he's just good old-fashioned Andy, okay? He's just Andy because he's not Superman no more, okay? He don't have the royalties. He doesn't have all the amenities anymore. He doesn't have those superpowers anymore. They've been sucked out of his body. He is just regular-ass Andy, Raggedy Andy, okay? All of them need to be brought to justice. All of them. This is a bipartisan situation because Jeffrey Epstein was friends with the likes of Republicans and Democrats. So if any of those people have anything to do with something disgusting and nefarious with the likes of this man, let that justice reign upon them as soon as possible. I don't care if they're blue or red. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a fan of Trump or not. If he did something and it was illegal and he's trying to cover it up, that must be exposed. Period. There should be zero tolerance on any of these monsters because countless times we see people like a Jake Harrow, okay? Like a Jesse Butler, okay? Jesse Mack Butler. The ones where we see them out here, they get a slap on the wrist and they get thrown back out into the world. I don't give a damn if you have financial privilege. I don't give a damn what race you are. If you are out here doing these things, you must be brought to justice, and you must be brought to justice hard. Period. So if these emails are real, which I feel like the House Democrats would not just throw out fake emails. These emails are true, and he's not making these things up, right? Then let justice reign. Let justice reign supreme. Let's take a look at this. Like I said, Jeffrey Epstein wrote, Trump, quote unquote, knew about the girls. And I also got to tell you, it's this phrase that is driving me nuts. Okay. It's this phrase, the phrase, quote unquote, he is the dog that hasn't barked. Just let that linger in your brain. Okay. Let that linger in your brain. We're going to talk about this. Okay. We are going to be talking about that for sure. Okay. So Jeffrey Epstein referenced President Donald Trump in emails to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell and a journalist, claiming in one that Trump, quote unquote, knew about the girls, according to emails released by House Democrats. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released 3 email chains sent between 2011 and 2019. So within 8 years, saying the documents came from convicted SO estate or his estate as part of the committee's investigation of Epstein or of the Epstein case. So we already know what happened to him. All right, he gone. He been gone. He gone. Now, some people think that he did it to himself. Some other people think that he didn't do it to himself. It's a whole conspiracy for sure. Okay. It has sparked many conspiracy theories, including one claiming that his powerful friends were the ones that did this and were aware of his crimes. Okay. So the administration faced intense backlash and bipartisan calls for transparency after the Justice Department and FBI released an unsigned memo saying they had reviewed the case against Epstein and Maxwell and that no other people would be charged in connection with their cases and that no additional material or evidence would be released, which, if this stuff is true, it is not. Then they're lying. NBC News has not independently verified the emails. Again, we have to understand that the emails could be real. They could be they could be fabricated, but they may be real. So NBC News reached out to the White House and a lawyer for Maxwell for comment. NBC News also reached out to lawyers for Michael Wolff, the journalist whom some of the emails were addressed to. So in 2019, an email released by the committee on Wednesday, Epstein wrote to Michael Wolff, this journalist, that Trump knew about the girls, quote unquote. The email was apparently referencing Trump and Epstein's soured relationship. Now, I can already see how people are going to start, those who are refusing to believe that there's any connection between anything crazy and disgusting between Trump and Epstein. Okay, they're gonna lean on this soured relationship part. They're gonna sit there and go, well, but you see what had happened was they weren't friends no more. So you got somebody who's in his fees, and he goes into his emails and he's like, well, I'm taking everybody down. I don't even care if it's true or not. F Trump. I'm gonna email how much he is a part of this whole situation. You see what I'm saying? I already see that happening. I already see that starting to happen. So the two were friends for years, but the White House said earlier this year that Trump booted Epstein out of his club for being a creep. Remember, he said he took people that worked for me. He took them away from me, right? And I told him, don't do it anymore. And he did. And he did it. This is what he told reporters. Remember in July? I said, stay the hell out of here. So redacted, Mar-a-Lago, redacted. So the email sent several months before his demise reads. And so he was talking about, I guess, Trump's Mar-a-Lago, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, maybe or not. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. What do you think that freaking means? Now, here's the thing. What is he asking Ghislaine Maxwell to stop doing? Think about that for a second. Think about that. What? Stop asking for extra towels for the sauna? Stop asking for more almond milk for your iced lattes? What does it mean? What do they mean by Ghislaine, stop? I asked her to stop. What? Stop showering me with gifts and compliments? No. He even said it on a plane, remember? He was on Air Force One and he said, yeah, I asked them to stop. He was becoming a creep. He was taking girls from me. He was stealing them from me. Verbatim. So what would he be asking Ghislaine to stop? Stop hitting on me. I know you want me. But I got Melania. Stop what? Let us continue. So here's an okay. Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff. So, victim's name, Mar-Lago, something redacted. Trump said he asked me to resign. He was never a member. So he says never a member ever. So he was never a member at Mar-Lago. This is according to what he's saying in this email. All right. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. So clearly he's like, yo, stop taking my girls and taking them somewhere else. I handpicked these girls for my own place. You find your own, you recruit somewhere else. You don't recruit from my place. I handpicked these girls myself, all of them, beautiful girls, beautiful. I'm sure is what he's saying, right? But that's an email right there for your ass. Man, I'm telling yeah, Helen. Thank you so much for saying that. Sometimes you just gotta sigh. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, good God, man. You know? Here's the thing. Let me just I'm gonna keep asking this question over and over again. Like, I'm thankful for it, because if this is true, I'm thankful for it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Why would you expose yourself? Just think about that for a second. We're going to drain the swamp. Why would you, if you in the mother loving swamp? Think about that for a second. What in your right mind, where in your mind, if you are guilty or even closely associated to this particular monster, where in your mind does it compute? Yes, this is the time to expose something that you are part of. You get what I'm saying, though, right? And this is years of him talking about this, too, by the way. Like, you're not, you see what I'm saying? Why would you expose thyself in this way? It's just a level of, don't get me wrong, if this is truly real, then thank God he's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Thank God he's dumb. He made a dumb moment. You know, I love dumb criminals, right? But at the same time, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why would you do this? Why? Why on God's green earth would you do this? Expose your own self, you know? Like I said, it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's move on. So, in another email, Epstein allegedly sent Epstein allegedly sent to Maxwell in 2011. Epstein says Trump spent hours with someone the committee says was a victim. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence in connection with Epstein's crimes. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there, the email said. The dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Why would he be calling himself or calling Trump the dog that hasn't barked? Think about that for a second. It means so many different things. Like he's the big dog, right? It could mean that. It could just literally mean that he just hasn't really said anything yet. He hasn't exposed anything yet. He could literally bark. He could literally expose certain things. He could say certain things, right? But the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The committee redacted the name of a person. It says was an Epstein victim. Additional context surrounding Epstein's alleged email is unclear. So look at this. Let's take a look at this here. It's an Epstein email. Okay. So Ghislaine Maxwell, G Max. Okay. So importance high. Says, I've been thinking about that. Then moving on. He responds in an email. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Redacted name, this victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Chief police, etc. I'm 75% there. I keep on wondering, what is 75% there? What does that mean? What the hell does that mother loving mean? 75% there to what? 75% there to proving that he's done some bad things with this person, that he's part of this whole situation. Some very interesting emails for sure. And there's apparently a trove of thousands of emails from Epstein to various people that are now slowly but surely starting to leak out. Let's go over to ABC News and take a look at this clip here real quick. Insane, guys. This is this is huge, all right? Or as Trump would say, huge, right? This is a big freaking deal. Now, do me a favor, guys, okay? I see a bunch of y'all in here. I appreciate you guys being here and having this conversation with me. Thank you so much for being here. Please do me a favor, though. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Okay, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. Crush, crush, crush. All right. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, please. And thank you. All right. Also, I will say this too, really quick, shameless plug, but I do have a GoFundMe going on right now. I am trying to raise some money for this live rig that I have or that I'm trying to purchase. We are literally $340 away from meeting our goal. Literally, it's a few more dollars left, right? So if you can, it is pinned to the top of the chat, okay? This GoFundMe is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description box down below. If you can support, that would be greatly appreciated. A little goes a long way. We are literally this close to getting to our goal. So if you can help, that would be amazing, all right? But let's get into this. Let's take a listen.
Oversight Committee has just released new emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Some are focused on President Trump. Jay O'Brien has the details. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, George, good morning. These are records that the department, or rather the House Oversight Committee, subpoenaed from the Epstein estate. Reams, thousands of pages worth, released this morning by Democrats on that panel, several mentioning President Trump by name. This morning, the bombshell release of what House Democrats say are emails to and from deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, several referring to President Donald Trump by name. In an April 2011 email released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, lawmakers say Epstein wrote to his now convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, 3 years after pleading guilty to sex crimes involving a minor, telling her, I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Named victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that. But this summer in a...
So she says, I have been thinking about that. And then he, so you realize how this is not good. This is years after he was convicted. I just want to remind you of that. Okay? This is years after he was convicted, Epstein. And then he sent out these emails. All right. I just want to make that abundantly clear, which is absolutely insane. So he had time to stew and think about this. And then he sent out these emails to the likes of Ghislaine and all that. And then that email, at least, was during that time afterwards, right? After he was convicted. There are other emails from 2011, between 2011 to 2019. All right. All of that is now being exposed. All of that is being unearthed. This is very bad, y'all.
Recorded interview with the Department of Justice, Maxwell told Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the president's former lawyer, she never witnessed Trump act inappropriately.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Okay, let me make this abundantly clear, because obviously we already know what happens after this. Remember, they flew out to Florida to have a conversation with the likes of GM, with G-Max, to see, well, wait a second. She's sitting here saying that she has information. Remember all that crap? So they flew out there. They scrambled to get out there. They sat down, had a conversation with her, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, she gets moved to where? Freaking Club Fed.
Shortly after that interview, Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison camp, prompting criticism she received special treatment.
Remember, they sat there saying, oh, yeah, she saw nothing. So they had a whole conversation with her, and she says, oh, no, I saw nothing. I saw nothing at all. He was an absolute gentleman. I saw nothing. Why do you think she did that? We've already talked about that ad nauseum in the past. But now it's all coming back again. You really think that she saw nothing? Apparently Trump turned to her and told her to stop. Told Jeffrey Epstein to kick rocks. Get the hell out of Mar-a-Lago. You are not welcome here anymore. You creep. Taking my girls. Stealing my girls from me from right under my nose. We talked about all that, guys. It's just very interesting that they got kicked out of Mar-a-Lago specifically for taking girls and that being a creep. And yet Ghislaine Maxwell, when they have that conversation, saw nothing nefarious from being done by Trump. Zero. And now she's at Club Fed, walking around with puppies and learning how to crochet and playing pickleball and stuff like that. Doing yoga classes and ish with other people that are locked up for nonviolent offenses. And she's the only person in that prison that's there for the crimes that she committed where she shouldn't be there. You got to understand. People are like, fraud, money laundering, stuff like that, right? And a various of other things that are not nonviolent crimes, right? She is the only person at this prison now learning how to crochet, play pickleball, and pick up puppy dogs. She's the only one that has charges or what she's been convicted of in that prison. That's insane. All because she said on the record, in recording, I never saw Trump do anything. He was an absolute gentleman. He was a good man. I never saw anything. And now she's in Club Fed. Come on now, y'all. Come on. We ain't dumb, okay? We may have been born during the day, but we were not, most definitely not born yesterday. And like I said, for those of y'all who are sitting there going, hey, oh, guys, that's my president, blah, 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 trying to support him and everything. I get it. Do you, boo-boo, if you want to support. But look at the timeline, baby. She should, regardless if she said he was a good man and never did anything or not, she should still be in that prison in Florida. But she got moved. She got an upgrade because she said what they wanted her to say, guys.
Democrats also releasing this January 2019 email where Epstein corresponds with author Michael Wolff less than 6 months before the financier would be charged again, this time with sex trafficking of minors. Discussing President Trump's repeated claim he kicked Epstein out of his Palm Beach club, Epstein writing, Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. President Trump has denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes.
It's a hoax. It's started by Democrats.
After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken with him.
Hold on, I gotta roll that back. Listen to what he's saying, and then look at his face. I'm sorry, but look.
President Trump has denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes.
Right here.
It's a hoax. It's started by Democrats.
After
He can't even look up. You see that? It's a hoax. It was started by Democrats, and he's looking down. I'm sorry. Something about this just doesn't feel right to me. Okay? Doesn't matter how wonderfully or terribly he is running this country, however you see whatever side of the political spectrum you are on. This right here, this ish right here, he lost a lot of people's respect. He lost a lot of people that were MAGA through and through because of this whole situation. And I'm going to roll that back one more again. Take a look. He's looking straight at the ground. He's not even looking at not one of the reporters, not even a camera. He's just saying it's the demis, these damn demis. It's all these damn libs. To me, he's lying.
Any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes.
It's a hoax. It's started by Democrats.
After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken with him in 15 years. And earlier this year, Trump claimed the reason he banned his one-time friend from Mar-a-Lago in the mid-2000s was because Epstein stole Trump's club staff, including young women.
He took people, and because he took people, I said, don't do it anymore. You know, they work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that, that was the end of him. I didn't like, when they steal people, I don't like it.
Remember, we talked about this too. To me, stealing people sounds like, to me, he's like, I found the most beautiful women to work for Mar-a-Lago. Because clearly he's not, unless there's men too, I don't know. But clearly he wasn't walking over and taking men, from what I see. From my understanding, he's like, these are all beautiful, young, beautiful women, right? And he's going over here. Jeffrey is doing his thing. Ghislaine also making friends with them and being like, hey, you know, you're beautiful. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And she's of course, very eloquent, right? Very elegant and eloquent with her language and all that, and the accent, right? The accent. And she's like, come. Have you ever been on a PJ? It's called a private jet, but we call it PJ because that's what rich people call it, okay? Have you ever been on one? Have you ever been to an island before? No? Well, you must come. You must come and join us. Come to the island. We'll take care of everything. All expenses paid. Come through. Come with us. You'll be able to meet Epstein and so many other very rich men. And of course, these women are like, yes. Are you kidding me? Oh, and I'm going to get paid? Cool. I'm just saying all of this. And he's like, wait a second. These are all my greatest picks, right? Picks of the litter. Best of the best. And now he's taking them all. Why did he take Sally? He took Sally. Oh, and he took Cindy and Michelle. What's going on here, man? Quit taking my girls, man. Straight up. I picked them out personally. Step back, bro. You're a creep now. You're taking my girls. You're stealing them from me, and I don't like that. This is insane, y'all.
And no response yet from the White House on the release of these emails. Meantime, right up here on Capitol Hill, in just hours, Speaker Mike Johnson will swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva. The speaker has prevented her from 7 weeks now from taking her seat. She says one of her first orders of business will be signing that petition, providing the last signature it needs to force a vote on the House floor for the release of thousands of other pages of the Department of Justice's Epstein records. Once she does that, the clock starts ticking down to that vote, expected in the coming weeks, George.
Yeah, we're going to.
Woo! Okay. Okay, let me explain something to you. Okay, I got Avita. I don't know her name. I don't know how to pronounce her name. No disrespect. The House of Representatives is supposed to be sworn in. She was supposed to be sworn in several weeks ago, before the government shutdown, mind you. Okay. Before the shutdown even was a thing, even a glint in everyone's eye, a tear streaming down many starving families' faces, she was supposed to be sworn in. But Mike Johnson, oh, that little Keebler elf, just keeps on Keebler elfing, and he would not swear that person in. Why, you may ask? The reason why is because they were trying to protect these Epstein files. As soon as she walks in, she was like we just heard, she's about to sign something off, being like, we about to expose that whole ass. We don't care. But guess what happened? He was blocking her. You don't think that there's something weird going on here? Why would he not swear her in? Why was he already been sworn in already? Real talk. That's weird. That is corrupt. That is disturbing. And yes, Mike Johnson looks like a Keebler elf to me. Okay? Real talk. I feel like he looks like Tiny Tim grown, but still. How can you look like a tiny boy and a grown-ass man at the same time? Just look at Mike Johnson. Okay? I'm just waiting for like Ebenezer Scrooge to bust open the window and go, young man, what day is it? Well, it's Christmas Day, sir. That's what I'm waiting for. Him to just randomly be on the street looking like a little kid on the little. Seriously, he looks like a grown ass young man at the same. I don't understand it. It's weird. Keebler elf, young man / old man at the same damn. It's just the wildest thing. I've never seen it before. Okay. How can you be grown and old at the same time? Like, how can you be young and grown at the same time? That's what I meant. How you doing? How you doing that? That's a new one. Okay. Swear to God, if he took his glasses off and walked into a liquor store, he'd be carded. Straight up. No one sees that. Okay. He's like a little half-baked. You know what I'm saying? Like they put him in the oven, but he didn't fully cook through. And then they just took him out, and there he is. And it's like he's kind of cooked, but not. It's like he's kind of done. Hey! Somebody get can somebody get me a toothpick real quick? Someone get or a fork. Let me just check. I mean, it's kind of like it's cooked, but it's not. Just throw Mike Johnson back in the oven real quick. Let's just let it do it. No, you can't do that. We ain't got time for that. We just got to throw it out there for everyone. Okay. All right, then. Do your thing. How could you look old and young at the same damn time? I'm just asking questions. Okay? Yes, the cornbread ain't done in the middle, baby. Come on now. It's like he ain't done. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, the only reason why I'm roasting him is because he's doing sinister and messed up things too. And all this is being done and being told and being followed by who? The man up there. Not God. Sorry, hold on. I meant Trump, the man up on the top of the mountain. And they're sitting there going to do, I will at your bidding, young, master, as you wish, master. When this woman, this representative, should have already been sworn in because they're trying to delay the inevitable, which we just heard. As soon as she gets signed in, she's like, as soon as I get in this BS knee, I'm about to sign that ish, and all y'all mother lovers are about to find out everything. Okay? Or at least as much of everything that they can, that hasn't been destroyed yet. You don't think some of this stuff has already been destroyed? Come on now. Think about it, guys. You mean to tell me that that what Mike Johnson's doing is okay? It's not. It shows corruption. It shows that they're trying to hide some things and they're worried. Okay? They're really worried.
Be watching that. And Jay, we also saw what you played in that piece there from Ghislaine Maxwell in that interview she did with the Trump Justice Department. She said she had never seen Donald Trump act inappropriately. That's not necessarily inconsistent with the email that was just released.
The email there, George, says that she was aware of what Epstein refers to in that email, which is, as Epstein says, President Trump's interactions with an unnamed victim whose name is redacted in that email. It doesn't necessarily conflict, but she went very far in her deposition to say she never saw the president do anything inappropriate. So with these additional emails and more that are expected to come, and more, by the way, that the committee has and the Department of Justice has, it just ramps up the scrutiny on what she told the DOJ.
No.
It's like I said, some of y'all might be looking at this and go, this is not a big deal, but it really is. This is a very, very big deal. Somebody just asked, is Fox saying anything about this? Let's see. Because you know for a fact CNN is having a ball right now. Okay. So far, I don't see anything from Fox News, which is interesting. Hold on. There we go. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see what Fox. This is live now from Fox. Let's see what they're saying now. Because I know some of y'all will be like, oh, ABC. Everybody got a problem with every single news outlet. You can put up CNN, they'll be like, oh, you put up Fox, they go, oh, you go CBS, ABC. It's ridiculous. But let's put it over here. Let's put Fox News on and see what they got to say about this whole doggone thing. I haven't seen this one, so let's take a listen.
We are following some breaking news at this hour. I did want to share this social media post from the Democrats saying that oversight Dems have received new emails from Jeffrey Epstein's estate that raise serious questions about Donald Trump and his knowledge of Epstein's horrific crimes. Read them for yourself. It's time to end this cover-up and release the files. This is
him. Okay. Like I said, this is a big deal, guys.
Some file footage of the late Jeffrey Epstein, and I did want to share some more information on this breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein writing in a 2011 email that President Trump had, quote, spent hours at Epstein's house with a victim of sex trafficking, and said in a separate message years later that President Trump knew about the girls, in quotation marks. That's according to communications released today. Now, the emails made public by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee add to the questions about President Trump's friendship with Epstein and about any knowledge that he may have had in what prosecutors call a years-long effort by Epstein to exploit underage girls. President Trump has consistently denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes and has said he ended their relationship years ago. This is also a post from the Associated Press saying that emails from Jeffrey Epstein released by Democrats say President Trump, quote, knew about the girls and spent time with a victim. These messages are part of a batch of 23,000 documents provided by Epstein's estate to the Oversight Committee. The release resurfaces a storyline that really has shadowed President Trump's presidency during the summer when the FBI and the Justice Department announced they would not be releasing additional documents that investigators had spent weeks examining. In an April 2nd, 2011 email to Ghislaine Maxwell, an Epstein girlfriend now imprisoned for conspiring to engage in sex trafficking, Epstein wrote, quote, I want you to realize that that dog hasn't barked is Trump. Now, there is a redacted name included, and it said that redacted name spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there, end quote. Meanwhile, Maxwell replied that same day, quote, I have been thinking about that. The name in that email who is said to have spent time with President Trump was redacted, but House Democrats have identified that person as a, quote, victim. In a separate 2019 email to journalist Michael Wolff, who has written extensively about this, Epstein wrote of President Trump, quote, of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop, end quote. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt has accused the Democrats of having selectively leaked emails to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump saying in a statement that the unnamed person referenced in the emails is one of the accusers who had also accused Britain's Prince Andrew and other influential men of sexually exploiting her as a teenager and who died by suicide in April.
Who could that be? Who could that be?
Referenced in the emails is one of the accusers who had also accused Britain's Prince Andrew and other influential men of sexually exploiting her as a teenager and who died by suicide in April. Andrew had...
Hold on. Who could that be, though? You already know who that is, guys. It's Virginia Giuffre. That's who she's referring to. But Caroline has been, she's something else too, okay? And don't get me wrong, I guess that's her job, right? But at the same time, she doesn't have to chime in about this. She does not have to chime in about this at all. She could have just sat there and said, my name's Bennett and I ain't in it. Okay? But my name's Ruth and I want the truth. Okay? Let's be real. My name's not Ruth. That'd be weird. But you get what I'm saying. All right?
selectively leaked emails.
So she said, these are selectively leaked emails. They were selectively leaked for a specific reason. She's not saying these are fabricated, made up emails. She is saying these are selectively leaked emails. So it's true. They're real. That's numero uno. So she's sitting there going, how dare you put out these emails? But these are the emails that he wrote. Sure, these are selectively selectively released. Sure they are. But this is definitely him writing these emails. She's not sitting here saying, oh, they're fake news. They're all made up. They're not real. Because she can't say that. Because they are real. But now she's trying to move the goalposts as best as she can. Oh, you're picking out all the worst, the highlight reel of the worst moments of all time. It's like, no, well, they are real. So of course we're going to look at these. We're going to look at the other ones where he's talking about like life sucks in prison, you know, trying to get some more money for the commissary so I can get some beef ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying? Beef flavored ramen noodles. That's what I need. Can't take a crap normally because my diet is all jacked up. I got a guy over here that's threatening to take my life. You know, no big deal. Of course, these are selectively picked because these are the ones that prove that Epstein and Trump were in cahoots in a very, very, very bad and illegal way.
To create a fake narrative to
fake
smear
narrative.
President Trump, saying in a statement
that
that the unnamed person referenced in the emails is one of the accusers who had also accused Britain's Prince Andrew and other influential men of sexually exploiting her as a teenager and who died by suicide in April. Virginia
Giuffre. So Caroline is literally going out of her way to be like, well, they're real, but why did she, this all BS. Same woman, Giuffre, Virginia Giuffre, who lost her life, wrote a book that just came out, made allegations towards Jeffrey and Trump. Now, Caroline is only doing one thing for us. She's confirming that these are real.
Andrew had rejected those allegations and said that he did not recall meeting her. So he did want to share this information as the House Democrats on the Oversight Committee have presented and made public emails regarding Jeffrey Epstein writing about President Trump and alleging that he had spent hours at Epstein's house with a victim of sex trafficking. We do have a number of other stories that we do want to get to.
Yeah, we got other things we need to talk about, and we got better things to do than to talk about this. Here it is. That is, of course, live now from Fox. I don't see anything from Fox News, like Fox News so far, but I'm sure they're gonna have some things to say here. Oh, nope, no, they haven't said anything yet from what I'm seeing. Yeah, nothing so far. But I'm telling you right now, at the end of the day, nothing so far. Everybody else, everybody and their mama is covering this right now. Okay? You got the likes of CNN, ABC, MSNBC, CBS, the Daily Mail, Daily Beast. Okay? Everybody. All right? I'm sure Politico has already talked about this. The BBC has talked about this. Everybody and their mama is talking about this right now. Because these emails, I truly believe, are real. The House committee would not release emails that were not real. And they say there's thousands of emails, guys. So these are just randomly handpicked emails of Epstein talking to the likes of several different people. It's not only just him talking to Ghislaine. He's talking to a journalist, Mike Wolf, and having conversations with them. And a bunch of other people, and mentioning so many things, so many names, so many people, and all that. And I'm telling you right now, this is all very bad and is a very bad look for Trump. How is he going to get himself out of this situation, if he can get himself out of this situation? And here's the other thing, too. Is this grounds for impeachment? I would assume it is grounds for being impeached. I would assume, but I don't know. This is going to be very, very bad. And Trump has got to step forward and speak out as soon as possible. I'm telling you right now, if he can't come out with a logical, solid explanation, which is impossible, but, never underestimate the power of denial. I could see some really bad things coming for Trump because of his connection, because of these emails. These emails are real. Like I said, Epstein could have been in his feelings, losing his mind, wanting to take down everybody and anybody he could take down, even people that were innocent. That's possible. But I don't believe that. What I do believe is that there is some sort of connection here. Let's not forget the laundry list of things that we have already seen. Okay. Trump is slowly slipping on his information and on his narrative. Let's not forget the birthday card that he sent him, right? About their secrets. Drawing a naked body and writing on the inside of that whole dialogue between them as if he was writing a script. Then later on saying that, oh, that's not even my signature. I don't draw. I don't doodle. I'm not a drawer. Yet there's plenty of footage and proof of him drawing buildings and stuff. But he doesn't doodle. He doesn't do those things. Him talking about Epstein getting kicked out of Mar-a-Lago because he was stealing his girls. He literally said that. He stole them from me. Like these women, these young women were property. Then Ghislaine. Oh, I have never seen him do anything nefarious. He's an absolute gentleman. Every time I saw him in person, he was an absolute gentleman. And then now she's living at a summer camp, a glorified summer camp. The breadcrumbs lead to something bad. And these emails are just helping us down the path, confirming even more. Now we don't have to look for these breadcrumbs. Now we see big, huge pieces. Like this is a whole loaf of bread, multiple loaves of bread leading us down towards the side, towards the conversation of Trump did that. Trump is in some way, shape, or form involved. You also got to remember, these were the guys that these two would share women. Real talk, they would share them. This is all very, very bad. And only we gonna find out what happens here. We're going to find out what happens here. But when it does happen, we're going to be right here talking about it. Mayor and Kathy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family, both of you guys. And just like Kathy and Mayor, please consider becoming a member and supporting the show. But guys, unfortunately, I got to get going. That is the show. I'll be back to talk about this more for sure. We got to talk about this because I'm sure Trump's going to come out with some sort of statement at some point today. And when he does, we'll be back here to talk about it. I want to say this too. I think that Virginia Giuffre's spirit is screaming from the grave right now. That's what I truly think. But stay tuned. As I always say, when things get wild, it's only going to get thicker than a snicker. I feel it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Please do me a favor. Okay? Hit that like button down below. Please and thank you. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. Okay? If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure to hit that follow. Subscribe here on my YouTube channel, please and thank you. That'll be greatly appreciated. Go to my second and third channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Subscribe to those channels. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever I go live. Hit it, set it to all, okay? Hit that join button down below, become a member, and check out my Patreon. Of course, check out PascalMerch.com. And also, I do have that GoFundMe pinned to the top of the chat, and it's in the description box down below. Please check it out. Show some love if you can. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Talk to you guys soon. I'm waiting for him to do some sort of press conference or something. Wait for it. When it does, we'll be here. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.